Short-lived.
That was a short.
review.
Don't repeat or,
Let's keep going with that. Okay, well, all right, everyone got a copy of the agenda? Are there any changes to the agenda? There being none, then may I have a motion for an adoption of the agenda as presented? So, second. All those in favor of adopting the agenda as it was presented, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by no. So the agenda is approved. Dominic sent out the summarized minutes of the last meeting, November 19th, 2025. Are you gonna put those up on the screen? Or no?
Yeah, I'm getting everything up now. So there's the agenda. I'll get the minutes up now. There we go.
We'll just scroll through them really quickly if anybody has any corrections, additions.
Delicious.
It is. Are there any changes anyone wants to propose or any
I have a
corrections?
question. So Dominic, you had said that the academic committee presented a PowerPoint, talked about academics. Do we have to attach that as part of the minutes or do we just say that that's what we did? The procedural question.
yeah, no, we do not have to attach the minutes.
Okay.
It's just a record of the business we conducted.
Okay. So if there are no changes to the minutes as presented, may I have a motion to accept them?
So look,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. So the minutes are accepted as presented. Right,
Veronica, did you second that?
we're on item number 4, public comments, and I see we have a member of public here who would like to make some comments. Would you please give us your name?
Carrie Rodriguez.
Can you record that for the minutes, please?
C-A-R-R-I-E.
C-A-R-R-Y-I-E, and then Rodriguez, R-O-D-R-I-G-E-Z.
U-E-Z.
Please.
You got it.
We're good.
You have the floor.
All right, should I stand? Can you see me? No, I'm just here tonight just because I am a staff member here at Ellis King as a special education coordinator. And I just really wanted to just come in and just, lift up our administration and our school for all of the amazing things that go on here that are unseen. And, I'm privy to some of it, but I am not privy to a lot of it because so much happens on a day-to-day basis in the business office, in Christy's office, and Anna's, and and everywhere. And, I know like a lot of times the board may only see like the negative things that come from parents and not always the positive things that happen, because typically that's just what happens, right? And just the whole nature of everything. And just, oh my gosh, going through the renewal process, I just have to let you know the work and the hours that Christy and the team put in, starting from this summer. And I don't think that our staff and maybe even the board appreciate how much time went into it. I just really wanted to just lift her. I just want to cry thinking about it because it was so much work. And it just came across, I was able to be in the meeting when Christy presented to PD. I was online when we came, the board meeting for AKCS, and she just presented it just so fluidly and just so like, this is what we thought, this is the way it is. And, but just seeing the background and all of the things that happened, the days and the hours going up to that, to get our renewal was just, oh my gosh, I don't even have words to express it. And just with Laura and just everybody, just want to let you guys I really wanted to speak to that because there's no way we could have done that renewal without Christine at the helm. Just really, and it was exciting when PED and the charters came to our school to present that day, and they went in and saw our classrooms, the students that came in and presented, and just the way it was organized, and it was just amazing. And I just really wanted to let the board know because you missed out. It was awesome. And then again, just nothing, and it was like, oh my God, and all the work going into it. So I'm just really letting you guys know that our staff are amazing. We have such a great staff here, and the way we all collaborate with each other, and it's hard. It's not easy. It's not, and you guys know, just what you do in your lives and just being in education and being here. And I just want to, I think there's fires, they call it like the more, something goes out and it comes up and it's constant. Sometimes there's like 15 minutes. So, to really let you guys
Thank you.
We really appreciate that. Absolutely.
Thank you, and just thank you for taking the time to.
We always thought Christie just sat around and make bonbons all day.
Or just closed off to the whole world. Right? There's so much important things that are happening, and it's not, it's hard because, our families see the tip of the iceberg. It's like that meme that you see, right, with all the hard work that happens underneath. And I really wanted to just speak to them and really lift up our admin and our teaching staff. And just Mr. Greg, all the way down to, our custodians, there's just no way our school could be as great as it is. So, I just wanted to just let you guys know that. And happy New Year. There you go.
Well, thank you. Obviously, we share your sentiment.
Good, I'm so glad, because, sometimes the board comes in and it's just hard because you don't always hear
We were
Just from the
just
staff
really
members.
blown away by the piece that she put together, the report that she put together that was presented. I mean, it was just the renewal. Yeah. the special education.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad the board gets to meet you. I've met you for the first time when we presented
Yes.
to the APS board, and I was very impressed with how you presented. So the rest of the board gets to meet you as well.
Thank you guys. Well, we appreciate you guys and just all that you do and for just being here for our school, for us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll stop talking because I get passionate and I start. Have a good night.
I'm gonna turn it over to you. You want to finish?
No, I'm
Okay.
happy to take it.
Okay.
Sneaking bites between them.
So we're on number 5.
I'm fine. All right. Comments from council members. Well, I'm glad she came. I remember being really impressed with her when we have our APS thing. Just she's really articulate and just has a lot of passion in it. So,
I was very passionate.
I think we could probably say that anything else for other, and so I don't have any other comments. Does anybody else have any other comments from council members? Moving to the head administrator's report.
Well, part of my report, I'd like to say that the facility is fantastic. All righty. So we are, thought I printed my report. It's a good thing that it's up on the board there. I don't know if I can see it, but we're currently at 349 students. So we have dropped 4 additional students since November. And for various reasons, we actually had students move out of state recently. And then also we had a student move to a school closer to their home, so it was a little more convenient in dealing with traffic. So that is the change in enrollment. And then the chart below just shows the what grades that was, where that was impacted. What's really interesting as I work through this table month to month that I've already noticed is that because the governing council meetings fall mid-month, and yet I'm reporting on this for each month, sometimes it's like, well, wait, did that get reported at the last meeting? Or so but we did have 4 students. It was at, let's see, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, 1 student at each grade level. And that's where the impact was. Alrighty, and then if you'll go ahead and scroll, construction updates. The new playground equipment has been delivered. It showed up on Monday, much to my surprise, so that was a fun Monday morning. It was very hectic to try to get things shifted around very quickly. It is in the process of being assembled and installed, and the contractor plans to have that done over the next 2 weeks. So hopefully we'll be able to come back from winter break with all of that new equipment installed, and they held off on some of the turf because they've been waiting for the playground equipment. So once the equipment goes in, then the turf will go in that area as well. We are also over the winter break, they are planning to supply the appropriate gates with the electricity. So we are going to have some of the gates, like the 3 parking lot gates will be electronic gates, and then we'll have a couple of the pedestrian gates that will also have key card access. And that's because, especially when we cross back and forth to the annex and we have like full groups of kids, we don't want kids standing in the middle of the road or near the road while we're fumbling with keys. So those gates will have key card access to make that a little smoother transition. So that will happen over the winter break. And also they are installing the tile in the bathrooms over winter break. And then everything else was projected to be done during that time as well, but we are still waiting for a permit from the city of Albuquerque. It's been held up for a couple months now. So
They blew our sign,
it
that's
does.
what I'm most excited about.
I know. So we're looking now, and it's gonna impact the kitchen. So now we're already into conversations about when are our next big breaks where we could do these things. And so now we're looking at spring break. And so, yeah, so hopefully, I mean, I'm not surprised that we're looking at delays, but you know, anytime you have a lot of construction projects going on, it's pretty typical. So
Are there issues that need to be overcome, or are they just slow?
no, one of the biggest issues that they were trying to figure out at the beginning was because the sign for the front of the school was originally designed a certain way, and we were trying to get back with the original architect to get information about, was this structurally engineered already? And then we think that it was, but then the city wanted proof of that. And then we were trying to go back to the original contractor to get proof of that. And we were not able to get that. And so then the conversations became, well, do we now need to dig up some of these footings to prove that it's been done? And so that's where the big holdup came. But from my understanding, it sounds like it's a single permit for all of the different pieces. So it's from what it sounds like, it's gonna also impact the shade structures because that has to be permitted as well. So it's like the single permit for all of these different pieces from what I understand. So we've got some things that are just gonna be on delay for that. We've had a couple events this month. We had State Representative Joy Garrett come and speak to all of our 4th and 5th grade students on December 1st. And so that was really nice. It's always nice when we can connect with our legislators and really promote our school and what we're doing here. So that was a nice connection. And her presentation was great. The kids really enjoyed it and learned a lot. So it was really nice. And then on December 10th, PTA hosted bingo night and had prizes and provided free dinner. We had a great turnout.
Free dinner's all it
Free
takes.
dinner, right? It was really good. And so they're actually now, because it was such a positive turnout for the event, now they're looking ahead and thinking about a family game night in spring. So try to do a similar event again. So we're coming up on winter break. Tomorrow's our last day before the break, and then staff will be back in session on January 5th. Students will return on Tuesday, the 6th. And then on the 7th, we'll have a foundation meeting, and we are talking about capital outlay with the foundation. January 9th is a Friday, so that'll be a K-8 school day since we don't have school on Monday. And then the 19th, we have Martin Luther King Day, so there's no school, but then because there's no school Monday, then we're here on that Friday. And we actually, even though this is past our next governing council meeting, I wanted to put this out there because our 6th through 8th graders, when they have school on January 23rd, they will be presenting their National History Day and Future City project. So if you are interested in being a volunteer judge, let me know, because they always need judges for things like that. And then January 24th is the school choice fair at Expo New Mexico, and we will have a table set up at that event. Any questions or comments?
I had one comment to make. The natural history contest, that's how I got involved in the
Mhm.
school. Jenny Hathaway asked me if I'd like to judge, and it was,
And here you are.
there I am. It was the first year that the kids participated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited because now I get to participate in it as a parent. Because last year my daughter was in 6th grade and chose to do science fair, and this year she's doing National History Day and did a process paper. And so she's super, super excited about it. It's due tomorrow. It's a big deal.
I guess my long and short of this is if you have a friend who you think might be interested in doing this, you never know what it can lead to.
Mhm.
Marketing friend.
Who likes to be a judge for future
Marketing
cities.
friend. Let's judge the district contest.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
Excellent. All right, reports from invited guests. Do we have the foundation?
I can give a foundation report. Our foundation did meet recently. I can pull up the date for you in my old fashioned handwritten calendar here. We met on December 8th. And on that day, we discussed capital outlay and the projects that we would be submitting a request for. The request has been submitted to the state, and so then in January, at the January meeting, the foundation will be talking about how do we get people to then contact the legislators and say, hey, look at us, look at our request. So we, the request includes, if I can remember off the top of my head, possible, some funding for possible HVAC replacements because we're seeing some end of age on some of our units. We also revisited our capital needs assessment and saw that we need to upgrade and replace the fire system over at the annex. And then we also need to replace some exterior doors and exterior lighting over at the annex. And that's what the request included.
The fire, probably a pretty big ticket.
Yeah, like 55 grand, I think is the quote that we have for that right now. Mhm.
Maybe a good idea for all of us to individually find out who our representatives are.
Mhm.
Speak nicely to them. All right, anything from Equity Council?
We still have the application out to the school community, to see if we can get more equity council members as of right now.
No takers just yet.
Exactly.
That's for staff or for parents?
Parents,
And grandparents or any
community members.
community members, anybody that would like to do it.
Mhm.
All right, well, then let's go ahead and move into the council committee reports, starting with finance, facilities, and HR.
So tonight, Finance Committee met and we reviewed and discussed the November 2025 financials. That always includes the bank statement, bank register. We review large dollar items, which are usually items over 5,000. So just looking at the packet of paperwork, like POs, details, approvals, all those things. We also reviewed the November budget summaries. Tonight, we did not have any journal entries, but we do have 3 others. Want to look at Bankrupt first?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you guys want to look at the register, if anyone has any questions on vendors, but I don't really have anything new to highlight on there for this month. The budget summary of funds, I just highlighted some of them for you. Three, now I can't even read it. Like, what's that bottom one I highlight, 31,600? Yeah, for HB 33. We actually, one of ours tonight is our lease assistance award, so I'm gonna be moving some expenditures from that HB 33 fund, that's why I highlighted it, into that lease assistance one, so we can start getting reimbursements in for our payment. So that'll be kind of nice. But in terms of spending, I mean, IDEAB is there. I know it has a 2%. I'll journal entry that at the end with a special education salary to finalize it. The 24109 preschool IDEAB is spent down. We've already received the reimbursement for it. And Title II, that's usually a payment we do twice a year, so we'll be working on that one too soon. It was a nice month. It was really smooth.
Do we have a motion to approve the budget report?
Okay,
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And we have 3 different bars, one ending in 15-I. This one is an initial budget.
This one's 27107. It's our library special appropriation that we got awarded. And it's an increase only because we do have some budget in there from a prior appropriation that we had. And I chose the account code based off of what Christy told me she's looking to spend it on. Yeah. But it's about, what is it, 7510? Yeah, $7,510, so it's a good chunk.
sounds good.
Do we have a motion to approve bar ending in 15-I?
Okay.
We have any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Awesome. The second bar is bar 0016-T. This is a transfer bar. So I put our social worker salary into IDEAB, and there's a small little amount that isn't being covered by the fund that I want to transfer that amount into. So 1,000 is special education teachers and special educational assistants. And because I haven't spent that one fully down or encumbered it all, I want to transfer that amount over into function 2100 to fully cover that social worker salary.
So the salary is more than the budget? Is that what you just
In
said?
that function, yeah.
Same fund, function level transfer bit. 4,200, 4,295, 52? Is there a motion to approve bar ending in 16-T?
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And then this one is bar 0017-IB. It's an initial budget. This is our lease assistance award. So happy it came through. It's at $315,978. It is about $18,000 less than last year's award, but again, that's based on enrollment. So we kind of expected to see a decrease in this. but I'm happy we got it before January. That's really nice.
Why?
Cause then I can start reimbursing for it. I don't know if you saw the HP 33, but it was at 72%. I'm always seeing it really high. I was like, oh.
Motion to approve RMD again, 17-ID.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Hi.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else from finance, facilities, and HR?
That's
All right. Go ahead and move into nominating council professional development committee.
me. I just want to reiterate that we're still looking for a marketing person for the council. I have one person in mind, and I will talk to her tomorrow night. I'm just not sure. I think she may be a little too flamboyant, but marketing people can't be that way. And she's just recently retired, and she is looking for things to do. So I'm gonna approach her tomorrow night at another meeting that we both attend. So I'll let you know what happens with that, and then the professional development. Fabian told me he just took another course, which he thought was very, very interesting, on the legal issues.
Mhm.
And so if you're still looking for classes, that might be one that you would want to take. I don't have an updated report from PED as to where we all stand. But I don't think it's much different from the last quarter, except for that course that you took. So, but there's still a lot of time.
Is the Canvas one up and running yet?
It is, and if you email. I'll send it to you. If you just email him and ask him to enroll you, he will enroll you. I'll email you the.
Thank you.
I just wanted to share along with that, I went to the PCS and NOM conference at the end of last week and actually got to sit in on 2 of the governing council trainings put on by Kelly Callahan. And one was specific to finance committee. And I like to attend every now and then when I'm able to, if I don't have another session to go to, because it's always good to hear, like, is there anything else that we need to be doing differently? You know, just to have that perspective. And so it was really great to hear the information. And it's always nice to hear what you all are hearing so that I can understand, you know, when information's coming back, it's like, oh, I get it. So like the first time I heard about an academic committee, I'm like, where is this coming from? Right?
Make this up.
Right. And now I get it. And so it was great to sit in on those sessions.
It sounds like you're doing everything right.
Yeah, I'll follow up with you about it. I'll figure it out for the meeting.
Yeah, Kelly's good. That's always good. All right. Anything else from nominating council professional development?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and move to policy committee.
Okay, we don't have anything new on the policy committee. We've kind of gotten stalled. Waiting to get at least 2 possible policies reviewed by council. And I don't know if you and Christine and Aaron have had any opportunity to bring that forward to. Yeah.
We have not, she's been pretty slammed too.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to get to her.
We talked about it at the strategic planning meeting the other night, and that I think everybody understands that she's really slammed with it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time we discussed this, we thought maybe we don't even really have to change one of those policies because we have something that does cover it, and we don't want to get into too much detail.
Right, the cell phone policy is
Yeah.
one that we felt like we were maybe okay, but I think that the thinking was let's have legal counsel just take a look at it, just to see if there's anything that is where we may be advised to make some adjustments.
Yeah. So we're keeping our eyes on that. that, those two things, and hopefully, after the first of the year, we'll start a regular review of all the policies that, Jennifer instituted when she was chair, and, we'll get those up to date, but I don't anticipate there are going to be a lot of changes, but there was one question that we had, as to, can we make editorial changes without having them go through an approval process?
Just to clean up grammar type things, I would suggest that we don't, and just that way we strictly comply with our bylaws. I would suggest, you know, gather them all up, and then the first time we make any substantive one, we can do all those.
Okay.
Just to be safe.
Okay. And that's all I have.
So, all right, strategic planning committee report.
All right, so we met last night. We focused on taking a look at the strategic plan as published and looking at any administrative changes, non-substantive changes that we feel need to be made at this time, just small updates. We also looked at any upcoming actions that we need to highlight, upcoming deadlines that we have within our strategic plan, as well as any areas where we as a committee need to invite any other committees or folks to come give a deeper dive so that we can do that. Question related to what Pat just brought up regarding the administrative changes that we would like to publish to the strategic plan, discuss and publish. Does that need to be a listed formal agenda item for us to do that? Or can we do that without that? So that way I know whether to go over it tonight or not.
Yeah, let me understand the question. Do we have some administrative editorial type changes that need to be made to the strategic plan?
I'll be more specific. So updating the mission and vision
Okay.
to what was utilized for our renewal, as well as the very small things, which is we have some actions within our strategies that have now been completed. And just changing it from this was the date we planned to complete to now completed. That's it.
Yeah, okay, so then, yes, my recommendation is we absolutely put it on, you know, the next agenda, we're prepared to do it at, you know, if it's January, and do review and approval of strategic plan changes.
Even though we have previously approved the new mission and vision statement, we did vote on it, or are we?
Yeah,
Remember correctly.
because we're
Remember,
putting
sorry.
it in as part of the strategic.
Okay.
I mean, it sure doesn't hurt us.
You want that in the agenda next month? Can you give me the wording again so I remember?
Review and approval of changes to strategic plan.
Changes, updates.
Yes, changes and updates.
Okay, what I'll move to next are things we just kind of highlighted. So I'm gonna focus on that. One sec while I get my bearings here. So one of the things we wanted that we talked about last night is kind of like, what are some things we need to make sure that we're getting in front of because a deadline is coming that we wanted to make sure we brought up tonight. So one of those is our existing policies. So this is in goal 1, fourth one here. So now that we have our change to mission and vision, we had here's a strategy that we need to go through our existing policies and see if we need to change any language. So that's something that we'll work on now in January. Dom had the good idea of using AI as a start there. So we'll be doing that. So I wanted to let you guys know that since I'm on the policy committee too, so I'll work with Pat and that team to do that. So we'll work on that. The next thing, one sec. Actually, previous one here. So we had the strategy to review and modify existing communications to align with charter, vision, mission, core values. Just wanted to remind, and I know we're going to get an update here a little bit later regarding the state of the school event and any other events, that we just be mindful that if we have that opportunity to include any new language, wording, et cetera, from our new mission and vision, that we just make sure and include that. And then we got just some other things coming up that we wanted to.
Just with the mission and vision, I just want to remind everybody that that actually doesn't take effect until July. Because it's part of the charter renewal.
Okay,
And so that's when the new fiscal year begins, and the new charter begins is in July.
okay. So then when we come next month with our administrative changes, it's just going to be changing due dates or to complete.
Do we not change the mission and vision before
We can change it anytime we want for strategic plan. That's when it takes effect as part of within our charter.
Right.
You know, our charter contract, but if we wanna put that in the strategic plan, that's what we can. Yeah, so you
Okay.
can leave it in there.
I think,
Gotcha.
because I think there's some dates, having to review, like, if the policy is consistent with mission and vision and other documents that are due before then.
Yeah.
It'll be due before July, so it might make sense to
Yeah.
roll the approval now.
And just like making sure we can still meet some of those commitments, but not be out of order with what we're allowed to do.
Yeah, no, and we can change it in our, you know, our new charter contract doesn't take effect yet, but we can change it in our strategic plan.
Okay, that, which was my focus. And we highlighted just some other things coming up now in like the first half of this next year. One is we had that develop recommended family service expectation. This was not for us to work on or anything tonight, just highlighting we have some things coming up. Council officer succession plan, other thing coming up. And
I'm glad you brought that up. I think I'm a third of the way through my 1-year term, so be thinking, people. I'm gonna remind you every so
Talked about
often.
last night.
Like, keep that in the back of all your mind.
this was the biggie we noted, that we had a completion date of this month, which was increasing alignment between the council and the foundation. And wanted to bring that up for discussion on where we're at with that.
Or what, I think when we were reading this, we were trying to figure out exactly what we meant by that. So there's the piece of maybe getting more interaction there. Were we wanting more of the members to go to the, to those foundation meetings? There's the other piece where, aren't we going to have to approve stuff from the foundation now? There's certain things, because of the way that they're changing the categorization of being a charity, that there's added stuff that we're gonna have to approve at some point. I thought that was happening. So I don't know if that drives some of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the details of that conversation, Laura, do you remember? Yeah, I don't recall off the top of my head. I know Ben talked about it.
Yeah.
That's something we probably need to follow up with Ben on. Yeah, I mean, it's frankly, it's just always been something tricky for us. And one way we could do it, I mean, we've always had an open invitation to them to come to our meetings. We could attend them. Have to kind of volunteer, figure out which one of us can do it. They meet on average of once a month.
What time do they meet at?
5:15,
Is it a certain day, or is it just whatever they can?
mostly. I'd say not as consistently as the governing council, but yes, they, and I'm trying to remember, there's like standing meetings that happen on the calendar, but they often get shifted because of other conflicts.
Is it a Monday, a Tuesday?
Mhm.
That's okay.
The last time it was on a Monday, I think the next one's on a Wednesday. Yeah.
I mean, we could start a little sign up, you know, one of us will do it 1 month, one of us will do it the next month, next month.
And those are shorter than these, those are like an hour-long meeting, or are they pretty,
Hour and a half.
hour and a half?
It depends on what we're talking about.
And they're held here.
Zoom usually.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, that makes it easier.
Mhm. Yeah, Rhonda attended the last one because she was talking about the state of the school. So, that was a really great conversation, actually.
So she gets the next one off.
Mhm.
We're not gonna volunteer her. Do we have any volunteers to attend the next one?
So I mean, I don't mind attending it on a Monday night. I have like basketball from 7 to 8:30 that I coach, but it sounds like it finished
The
before
next
then.
meeting's on Wednesday, January 7th
Oh, Wednesday, January 7th.
at 5:15.
Wednesday's working better than Mondays. So, yeah, I'll hit the next one.
Okay, I will make a note to send you the link.
And then we're gonna task you with reminding us at our next meeting that you served your time and we need our next volunteer.
Yeah, if they keep falling on Wednesdays, I might be able to hit a couple of them in a row. Yeah, and I'll try to figure out what we have to approve now, or if there's something that we are supposed to be approving now, because that stuck in my head is
Mhm.
something we haven't done it yet, but.
And while you're there, feel free to really encourage them to come to our meeting. It's on fine.
Yeah, and I mean, with and I forgot to share this with the foundation report earlier, but Rhonda did attend that last meeting. We also did talk about the state of the school, which will come up in a committee report here in a little bit, but, it was really good because there was a lot of great ideas that came out of that, and I think we're gonna get some momentum going with some ideas, and you guys all filled in.
Yeah.
Veronica's like, what are we doing?
Well, yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to Rhonda, so when that comes up, Chrissy, you're on.
All right,
So when we come back next month with the agenda item to approve administrative changes to this, we'll need to change this December to either ongoing or give ourselves a new date.
The easy part of me would say we're changing to ongoing, but we know that if you have a deadline, you tend to pay a little bit more attention. So I would suggest we give ourselves another deadline.
Well, I mean, if our goal is to have someone attend every month or at least every other month, then maybe that meets that goal.
Yeah, no, I think it does.
But we gotta see how we do.
That's exactly, and that's why I say that maybe we set the target completion date for June or July of 2026 to say, look, we started good and we hit November or December.
November.
And then we're gonna hit January and we'll just see how we're doing.
December.
Well,
It's December.
it was December.
Yes,
Okay,
okay.
so we hit December, so.
No.
So yeah, so maybe if we move that target completion date to say June or July of 2026. Or even August, we can do fiscal year, calendar year, however we want to do it. And if we had attended every meeting then and even got done to a couple of hours, then maybe we could even put that as complete. That's it for now.
Got it?
And before we move on from that, so the piece about the approval stuff, I'll ask them, are there any other areas of alignment that you all want me to bring up? Any things that we're wondering that we need to be involved in, they need to be involved in, any specifics?
I think letting them know that one of our biggest goals for the next year is marketing and increasing enrollment. And to let them know, if they have any ideas on how they could do that, how they could support us in that. I think one of the An administrative personal goals was surrounding that marketing effort, including, it's gonna cost us some money. And so to the extent the foundation, thinks they may be able to help with that, that'd be great.
Okay, lastly, as we were looking through the goals 5 and 6, which is foundation and then equity, we're like, for good assurance purposes, we will be asking for some representation of both of those groups to come to our upcoming meetings so that we can do a deep dive into each of these strategies and then report back to the broader council on where we believe we're at with both of those sets of goals. So that,
Historically, with each of those, like with Jenny and I were going through this, each month we just tried to like say, this month we're gonna get with PTA people, next month it's gonna be foundation, next month it's gonna be equity council, and then just working with some representative from each of those groups and coordinating some kind of Zoom meeting with them and just really focusing on their goals and strategies and having them participate in that. That seemed to work pretty good and just have it as a rolling, update.
these were the last two with the foundation equity are the ones where we felt like we don't necessarily get enough within the regular council meetings, whereas a lot of this tends to come up in our normal course of business that we felt like at least high level review of it last night was good enough for now. But definitely want to get in a good rhythm. Thank you. That was it.
Well, then, it looks like we're moving on to academic committee.
Christie's planning on rolling out the data from the tests for the fall for us to review, and we have a January meeting to look at it prior for our next board meeting.
Excellent.
And it sounds like from the self-evaluation, we could also look at the specific data relating to the Martinez lawsuit and see how we're doing that. That's it.
All right. Excellent. The state of the school event committee.
So Rhonda had planned to attend the Monday meeting, the Monday, November 24th meeting. I have not had a chance to follow up with her to get the scoop. It sounds like Christy can probably give us some information on that.
Yeah, so Rhonda presented to the foundation about the plan that governing council is hoping to have some kind of state of the school event. And the group brainstormed some ideas, and one of the ideas that came out was about doing a tour of the school and setting that up in where foundation is present, PTA is present, governing council is present, and then having maybe doing like a basket raffle so that we're getting teachers involved, and maybe some of the money from that goes to the individual classroom teachers, because that's where you get buy-in, like, since, right, we want you present, and here we're going to reward you for your hard work because the basket raffle does take some planning on the teacher's part as well and time. So then having some money that they can earn to go back into their classroom accounts for things that they can purchase for their classrooms, and then part of that money going to foundation to support the school. And then talking about having like some form of like data walk. There are a lot of ideas that came out. We talked about doing like passports where they get stamps at different stations, and then there's a certain table where they have to turn their passports back in to show that they have all the stamps, and then they can earn a prize. And a lot of really, really creative ideas came out, and like trying to remember. Oh, I know what it was. We also talked about in doing this in kind of incorporating our lottery open house with the same event, so it would be open to current and prospective families, because it would be such a comprehensive view of the school that we could invite in new families in as well, and they can also do a tour of the school, and it would be a great way for them to learn about the school, and so to do it before we hold the lottery.
The lottery is
usually in March. We have not set the date, but it's usually the first week of March.
So some kind of event in January.
Mhm. And so there's a lot of really creative ideas that came out of it. I did talk to the foundation, and Rhonda about, it would be really good to have a group of people here at the school. So if the strategic planning committee, state of the school committee decides to present this idea back to the governing council for approval, then to have a team from the school who are helping to facilitate all the different pieces as well. And so I have already kind of put that out to some of our teacher teams. It's just like a heads up, like, hey, this might be coming and you might be tasked with this.
So the next steps would be for me to get that ad hoc committee on a Zoom, and start figuring that out. So I had you, roping around in.
Yep.
Not that you said you possibly be interested.
Do you guys need support? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, is there a specific night of the week that works better for you all?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or the non-practice days.
That work?
Any night I don't have another meeting, it's fine.
Okay, so that would be our next steps, is
Yeah.
to coordinate, Zoom meeting with ad hoc. And if there's, people from the team, the school team that you want to include, share them with them.
Absolutely, and if we could wait till January,
Yes.
that'd be right. The first part of January.
And we should probably plan to be able to have a date nailed down by our January meeting.
Yes,
And likely, I think, if we see this happening in February.
yes.
So I just, on those ideas, that passport idea, that sounds like a really great idea for new prospective students. You know, it forces them to go around, get the layout of the school, see some stuff, talk to the different committees. So I really think that's a great idea for the.
See the makerspace, the art, the music, you know.
I don't know, but I don't know about existing students. Like, I just not,
Well, because if you display artwork and student work and if
that's true.
families want to see
There's
that.
something about, and we're going to be kind of family, we're kind of element know what it is.
You couldn't have a little kid, I love it, Scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
Right. We can even work with like the music teacher to see if there can be some type of performance for one of the grade levels. You know, I think it could be far reaching. Carlos also emailed me with some of the ideas that came out of that meeting, and so I can share that at the community.
So I know like the thing that my kids were, of course, it was the daughters, right? Marcos, he's kind of like, whatever. But the dance, right? It was like, Dad, we have to go to the dance. I'm like, what? There's a dance. It's on Thursday. So they like were actively reminding me about that. So.
Well, and that was the idea of why to do the basket raffle, because then that kids get really excited about that. We haven't done one in several years, but the idea is that every classroom picks a theme and then the families send in items along that theme. So you might do like a movie basket. And so there might be movie tickets and popcorn and candy. And then you buy raffle tickets to do that.
The kids see them beforehand.
Yes.
Okay. Now.
They put them together, and I love how we put them together and see all these things.
Right.
We've won several of them. Not too many rafts.
You're invited to come.
Exactly. Yeah, and I have to look to see if we can actually call it a raffle. I can never remember. Yeah, it's something else we have to call it, and I can never remember, because we haven't done it, it's so.
Is that?
Oh, voices.
And
And the organization that I'm on.
So what's wrong with raffles?
Because you have to get licensed to the state
Oh,
to be able to do raffle. Yeah, and that hasn't changed.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
think of how many unlicensed raffles we've been through.
Yeah.
Makes you feel like a rebel. But at least we have good legal counsel.
Yeah, that's good gambling.
Yeah, yeah. It's considered, yeah. Okay.
Casino night.
Yeah, so it's not a raffle, it's something different than that we have to make sure that we're doing it correctly and legitimately.
How did that feel, Michael?
It was free. It was just a game. Yeah, it was free.
All right, anything else on state of the school? Well, we can move into old business discussion of governing council self-evaluation.
Right. Let's see here.
Tell me what you want me to bring up.
You can just bring up the main PDF. I'm gonna pull up my notes. I sent out my notes that I took for everyone to see. I'm just gonna kind of cover those. So we don't have to read through each line on it, but we can scroll through as we go.
Get it up.
So while Fabian's bringing that up, I did run through and do like an AI executive summary. It seemed pretty good. So it says the 2025 AKCS Governing Council self-evaluations reveal a committed and knowledgeable group, with most members expressing high satisfaction with their participation and a strong understanding of their roles and fiscal responsibilities. The council is widely seen as effective in setting policy that aligns with the school's mission and vision, and members agree that equity is considered in decision-making. However, several areas for improvement emerged. Respondents suggested annual refresher training for finances and academic assessments continue. More intentional policy reviews in light of updated mission and vision, which is actually something that you just hit on from discussion of our other meeting. And increased engagement from the council president, especially in mentoring new members. Additional insights point to the need for earlier delivery of meeting materials. That's probably mostly on me. Shorter and more efficient meetings and a more rhythmic approach to tracking progress against strategic plan goals. The council is encouraged to seek greater input from the Equity Council, measure end of year performance against previous self-evaluations, and consider recruiting new members with marketing expertise to strengthen representation and skills. By acting on these recommendations, the council can further enhance its effectiveness, responsiveness, and alignment with needs of the AKCS community. So I think that pretty well summarized all of the the written feedback that we had for each of the goals. So if we scroll through like the first question, you can see there was high satisfaction with governor council participation. Do this to me. Second question, high understanding of GC of our roles and duties. The third question, everyone seemed to have a good grasp of finances, and I think that is greatly due to Laura providing us excellent training each year. And so I think that's something that we want to, based on the feedback, that we want to continue, because that refresher training helps a lot. There's notes to improve satisfaction, continued financial training, because that's one that it's probably one of the more difficult things that we do. I know that's something that I have the hardest time understanding at some points. Provide refresher academic assessment once a year. So I actually wrote that coming in, and Christy, when you talked about like the short cycle assessments and the various assessments that we get that the kids do each year, and what those mean to academic success, I think that really helped me and Dave. And I think that would be a great thing to present at a governing council meeting, like once a year. Just this is what this data means. This is what these different assessments are. I think that would kind of help focus us as we talk through, we discuss that data in those updates. Moving on, most strongly agree that the GC is effective at selling policy that promotes mission and vision. The suggestion where there was more intentional review of policy in light of new mission and vision, which is another thing that got brought up at our meeting, or the meeting that Fabian led. And so I think that that's something that will be ongoing in this next year. Most strongly agree that council consider equity in decision making. So one comment was, it's agreed that equity is considered, but not exactly sure how these activities map down to student outcomes. So that might come with that academic data that we'll be looking at. And then maybe some more input from equity council could be beneficial. was another comment. Most strongly agree supporting material was provided well enough in advance. Slightly above agree that council work is done on time. And so when because we're kind of like grading our own homework here. When I see a lot of red and it's on agree when everything else was mostly strongly agree, I get the sense that it's probably a little bit below agree. And so we're all grading ourselves optimistically, but I know that I can do a better job of providing stuff earlier. And so I think that's probably an area that we can focus on. The next one, yeah, so there's some comments there. Big ticket items on late deliveries may benefit from folks reaching out for help. So if someone is having trouble getting something done because of workload or otherwise, I think we've learned that over the past year that we kind of need to help each other out. So if we could figure out to, do a little bit better job of coordinating when we get behind, to get that assistance. Engagement of president with committee chairs may help ensure alignment, and kind of look and drive at progress and drive those discussions if help is needed or something's falling behind. Suggestions on how meetings could be improved. Comment meetings could be shorter. Pre-read notes and materials so that there's less questions. So I think, I don't know if there's some discussions to be had there, but we feel like this meeting's been like extremely efficient. So most believe committees have been highly effective at achieving goals. All strongly agree the council weighs the pros and cons of all major issues, considering input to make informed decisions. I mean, I think, we really, especially those really important decisions, we take a lot of time to make those. So yeah, I think that one was a solid blue. Yeah. Most strongly agree that the council keeps itself informed of school performance against predetermined plans and goals. And then one comment: with the new strategic plan, we may want to review progress quarterly, but it sounds like with the way that Fabian's driving these meetings, the management assurance should be happening in real time. And so we'll probably be getting updates even more than quarterly on how we're doing this. So I think we're kind of on our way there. Most more than agree the biennial strategic planning evaluation process is effective. Most more than agree the council adequately reviews progress towards the strategic plan and adjust policy and resource needs to meet goals. Comment there was this seems to be done informally, suggest more a steady rhythm to tracking progress. Again, I think Fabian has a pretty good handle on that, and so I think we've got some good progress that's ongoing there. Most strongly agree the GC is briefed on staff development plans. Most strongly agree information on staff development is understood. On average, the council more than agrees that expertise, skills, and other factors needed to have an effective council are represented among members. Most agree that the council makeup represents AKCS community. There's a couple of comments there. One was suggest taking a good look at this. Are we representing the school well with the body that we have here? And then of course the comment about potentially recruiting a member with marketing experience, especially with the goals that we have that are ongoing. Most agree the council consciously selects and prepares officers for responsibilities. Let's see. So that one again, where you see like mostly red, where we weren't like all strongly agree. I think that might be another grading our own homework there, where we didn't put slightly below agree or disagree, but potentially there's some area for work there. That's kind of how I interpreted after seeing the responses to the other ones. So that might be an area where we could seek improvement. Most strongly agree council members have working knowledge of council bylaws and policies. A lot of blue there. All strongly agree policy creation is explained and understood and agreed upon before implementation. Solid blue. We talk a lot about those things. All strongly agree the governing council uses written policies as requirements for decision-making. So I think that, yeah, solid blue. All strongly agree the annual budget is fully discussed and understood by the council before approving. That's another one that we always make sure we have adequate time for. Most strongly agree the council considers equity when reviewing and approving the budget. We intentionally have those conversations, so that's no surprise. All strongly agree that the fiscal health of AKCS is regularly reviewed, and as necessary, the council takes actions in a thoughtful and timely manner. All strongly agree council leadership takes steps to ensure fiscal reports are understood by all members. All strongly agree the school's independent audit report is reviewed by the council and necessary action is taken in a timely manner. All strongly agree AKC has established fiscal policies that are followed consistently. And then most strongly agree that the council members are fully aware of their legal responsibilities for fiscal management. All strongly agree that the council works with the head administrator in a spirit of mutual trust and confidence. Most strongly agree the head administrator receives ongoing feedback regarding job performance in addition to any formal assessments. All strongly agree the council respects management responsibilities of the head administrator and provides necessary support for them to carry out their role. Most strongly agree that the council ensures that the head administrator has an ongoing professional development plan to enhance executive leadership effectiveness. Most strongly agree that the council receives updates on the goals and activities of the AKCS Foundation. Again, those last two were like mostly blue, so I believe that there's a pretty good showing there. That we're, trending towards that strongly agree. Let's see. Most believe the council is efficient at resolving problems and issues between the council and our other constituencies. Most agree that the governing council regularly assesses relations with key external groups.
Was that another red that you're saying we're giving ourselves a good grade and we don't really do much on it?
Yeah, I think that maybe I didn't flag that one. I think that's probably true, right? Because if we think about it, we get information from there, but do we really assess how good that relationship is, and do we actively try to make that relationship better and understand how we can all help each other out? So I didn't have that one flagged in my notes, but I'm glad you stopped on that, Fabian. So that's probably an area where we can definitely improve.
I think we all kind of do feel like we just work a little more hand in glove with foundation, equity, PTA.
I think assessing that is like, is there a specific committee that will take the lead on that coordination, right?
Let's see. Where are we at? Governing council. Yeah, we can just scroll through the rest of these. Let's see. Governing council members adequately support and attend public relations / marketing events. Again, that was on the bubble. I think we've all been there. I mean, if we have kids here, I think it's pretty typical for us to be around there. But are we there to be there for just our families, or do we also potentially take some time to tell them about the governing council, or let them know what we do and what we try to do for the school, and get feedback from them on the school, and all those conversations that we could potentially have in those venues? Not sure if we were fully taking advantage of that. Governing council encourages feedback from constituents. Again, kind of split. If I read that, I'd say that might be an area that we could improve too. Like, unless we're going to be talking about mass at a meeting, we don't get a lot of people from the public here, right? And how can we potentially maybe get people more involved to at least come stop in at some point, or see some of the work that we're doing. Um. I think that was it. So I mean, I think there's some good feedback there. And I'm more than happy to take those solid reds, et cetera, and maybe turn those into, we've got the AI summary that I think covers some of those things, but maybe not all of them. If y'all wanted me to generate another report after this that says, here are kind of like the key areas of improvement based on our discussion, that I could give that and we put it as a recommendation for improvements next year.
And then we can, see how, as we get towards this process next year, see how we think we did on that and see if it's a recurring theme.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for doing that.
Yep.
Putting all that together.
Yeah. Better late than never, I'm kidding.
That's one of my watches, actually. All right, well then. Do we have any further discussion on the governing council self-evaluation? Well, then let's move to our next item of old business B. And can I have a motion to certify that we completed the governing council self-evaluation for school year 25-26?
So moved.
I would say.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item of old business is C, discussion on charter renewal, charter school contract and performance framework. Ms. Christie, go ahead, take it away.
Okay, so, as we discussed last month, our charter was approved on November 12th by AKCS. According to state statute, and Erin, you may have to help me with this, make sure I get it correct, but according to state statute, we have some time after that to negotiate the contract. And I have been in contact with our school legal counsel regarding this, and at this time, she just hasn't had a chance to work on it.
Are there issues?
Yes, she doesn't have time.
I mean, are there issues that we need her to look at that we're concerned about?
I think, the performance framework, I think she wanted to do a deeper dive with us on the performance framework. And as far as the charter school contract itself, I think the biggest issue surround the transportation. So I think those are the biggies, and we do need to talk to her more and see if there's any further.
What about transportation?
We don't have it.
Well, yeah, and we need to make sure the contract is clear as to who's providing it. And I think the language is a little less than clear in the document was provided.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Ms. Christie's continuing to make efforts to follow up with her, get on her calendar.
What is the window that we have?
The statute says 30 days, which would be passed, so that's another thing on Patrick. It's, what does that mean? What's it? Good question.
Have the legal team, or I don't know if they would have that experience, have they said that, at least provided us feedback that they think that usually we're allowed more than 30 days to get that information? Or
We have not had that conversation. In the legal team, we have 8 counts.
or legal, okay.
Yeah. So she is aware of the deadline. Yes, some contract. So yeah, that's pretty much all we can report at this time until we talk to her, and obviously we're all gonna be careful when reporting on correspondence with our lawyers, divulge attorney-client privilege communications in an open meeting until we closed meeting that we're allowed to have, we need to have more, everybody knows, so. Pretty much all right. All right, well then with that, we do have a limited personnel matter, we do need to discuss any closed session. So, can we have a motion to adjourn into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
All right, let me pause the recording.
Are you okay if Laura stays for the first part regarding that inquiry?
Yes,